Janet, hi Janet. Good
Hi.
evening. Yeah, you have the floor. Janet is, you know what? Janet actually usually let me talk about you a bit. Janet is a female and she's a back-end developer. She just goes to tell the world that it is doable. Yeah. No, most time you see females in product design, you see them in front end because of the okay, HTML, CSS might not be that difficult until you start getting to JavaScript and the rest. But Janet is a female and she is a back-end developer. Trust me, come with your questions. Janet is ready to answer them. Hi, Janet. Good evening. You're welcome. You have the floor now.
Okay, good evening, Dami.
Good evening.
All right. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, confirm you can see my screen. Okay. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this master session. So I'll just do a summary of what this backend development is. So as you see, backend development involves working on the software that powers the server side of a website. It encompasses all the elements that are not visible to the front end. So basically everything that's the back end, you're not going to see it on the front end. You get, so the back end developer's role is to guarantee that the website runs smoothly with a particular emphasis on databases, the backend logic, the application programming interface, that's the APIs, the architecture, and the servers. So to give a practical example, so let's say you have an application that you log in, you put in your username and your password. So if you see that if your password is not correct, you will see like a message pops up, okay, this password is not correct. So what actually does that is the backend bit. So the backend bit is one that would connect to the database, check if that username correlates with that password. It checks the database. There's a logic behind that. So all of that is done at the back end. So once the result has been processed, it sends it to the front end where the user can now see it. Also, the backend deals with APIs. That's the application programming interface. So you can see an API as an intermediary between softwares, between two service calls. So just see an API like, let's say you're in a restaurant, the waiter is like the API. So in the restaurant, you as the customer or the client, you request for what you want to eat, maybe in the menu, you give it to the waiter. So the waiter takes it to the kitchen. So let's say the kitchen is a server, yes, or the database, whatever, the backend. So once your food is ready, the waiter brings it back to you. So you can see the API, it helps you, it's an intermediary between two service calls. So it takes the request from the client, takes it to the backend returns a response. So that same API returns it to the front end. So all of this logic, everything like this it takes place in the backend. So the backend is a very important part. It's the logic. It's the brain box behind the application. Do you get? So it's where everything that is what gives it, like I said, is the brain box for the application. Yes, because that's where the logic is. That's where the database is. That's where the servers, the APIs. That's where they are. Also, I would be going to the opportunities in the backend. So the backend is booming. There are many opportunities available to those who have the right skills, and anybody can pick up the skill. Anybody can learn it. It's open to everyone. So you just need to put your mind to it and decide that you want to do it. So it's open to everyone. So as a backend web developer, you can work for startups, large corporations. You can even start your own business. You can work remotely, freelance, or work in house. Yes. So there are many options available to you. So you just need to find the one that fits your goals and your interests. So the backend is very broad. It's very broad. So there are many places that you can choose. There are many paths you can choose. So it's not like it's restricted. And in the backend, you are always seeing yourself learning. So it's very wide for learning. So you are learning a lot every time, every day you are learning. So the values in the backend, you need to give attention to detail, because a little mistake could cause a lot of problem. So you need to keep attention to detail. You need to continuously learn, because there are new technologies, better ways of doing what you used to do. Like, let's say when I learned programming in 2016, till now, like many other things I've said, they've evolved, like even better ways of writing the programs I used to write before. So you will see yourself always learning. So you need to be open to learning, not just stick to how you used to do things before. You need to be open to change that way, learn other ways, learn better ways, improve on already existing processes. Then you also need to collaborate, know how to collaborate one another, not to like, one thing is to have a problem and you know how to like ask the right question, because you could be stuck in a problem, but if you don't know how to ask the right question, you will not be able to resolve it. So you need to understand the problem fully so that you can be able to ask questions, so you can be able to collaborate. Also, the part of problem solving, yes, because you're always solving a problem. So as you're solving problems every time, your skills in problem solving is expanding, because you're learning, you are solving more problems, picking up challenging tasks, solving problems. So your skills there is actually open. And also there are many languages and frameworks to learn in 2023. This is just my own perspective, but there are many. Like if you check the internet, you'll still see more. There are many languages you can pick up and frameworks. So languages you can learn, you have Java, JavaScript, Python, C#, C++. If you check the internet, there are a lot more. Then frameworks. So these are just frameworks are just like tools that help with your language. So they help with reducing boilerplate, so that things that instead of you to start afresh writing some program or writing some code, you don't need to do that. You can just use frameworks that will just help you to throw away the boilerplate, help you to like just focus on the problem. So you don't need to waste time trying to create the application from scratch. So these frameworks help you with that. Okay, so we have Spring Boot, and Spring Boot is a framework for Java. We have Django for Python-based framework. We have Node.js, JavaScript. We also have Nest.js, which is the backend for Angular. Then we have Express.js. So, like I said, there are still many more. So that's basically it. So I hope you understand what backend development entails now. Thank you for listening.
That's so very, very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Juliet. You know what got me was when you said that API is the waitress. Yeah, at a restaurant, API is the waitress, and I was like, okay, that's a very simple way to put it. You just simplify and demystify the whole tech world for us. Thank you so very much, Janet. Thank you. So, are there questions for Janet? Does anybody have any question for Janet? Any question? Before we move on to the last but not the least.